All right, so I'm here with Gary Leo at Nautical Donations on the grounds of Crowley's Yacht Yard. And we are looking at this beautiful Cal 34, which was donated, right, to Nautical
Correct.
Donations.
Yep.
Nautical Donations will now take that, turn it around, and raise money with it for a number of charities that we support. Man, what a beautiful boat, right? How did you come across it?
Well, a gentleman had it, was going to donate it to us, and then he decided to sell it to his friend who was a lawyer, and he lived on it for a short time, and he got to be like 78 years old, and said, you know what, time to donate the boat. So he brought it over to us. We cleaned it up a little bit, but it was really a boat with great bones and was in good condition and well maintained, which is really important for us that they maintain their boats.
And this is a Cal 34 3?
3, yep, the third innovation.
Third and final, right?
Right. Third and final, right.
Yep.
For 2 years they built the 3.
Okay.
And then they stopped building them.
That was like around 77 to 79 time frame?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Designer?
Bill Lapworth.
This whole design, Bill Lapworth's whole design,
right,
was really a big influence on Frank Butler, who founded Catalina Yachts.
Yes.
And you look at it and you can kind of see a resemblance there, I think.
Yeah, it's a nice clean line.
Beautiful. So it is a like coastal cruiser, like a pocket cruiser racer type of style, light displacement, 10,000 pound displacement.
Correct.
And the thing, I'll tell you, I am more of a cruiser than a racer. So what I like about it is that longer fin keel, right? That is, for me, that says stability and a little more of a cruising tilt than a racing tilt. So for racers, it may slow it down a little bit because that's more hull in the water, below the water line, but it's going to offer great stability when, you know, things get rough, I think.
And it's encapsulated.
I think, yeah, encapsulated hull or a keel
Correct.
Versus a bolted on keel, there's a benefit there for sure.
The advantage.
I did notice the little hole at the bottom, that is for a plug, right?
Yeah, correct.
So during the winter, you let everything just dry out, and then that is the bottom of the bilge. Everything looks very freshly painted. I see even the prop looks really pristine. So yeah, out here on the exterior of the hull, I think it's beautiful. All right, so we moved up on deck, and boy, this really looks spacey. It looks nice. I mean, for a 1979 built boat, you kind of expect to see fiberglass that's a little bit crazed,
yes,
that's a little bit worn, lost its glossiness. This looks beautiful, right? This fiberglass looks very well maintained.
Fiberglass has really held up.
So the wood looks beautiful. Everything looks, you know, solid. Nice winches. Those winches don't look very old at all. The
self-tailing
cleats are polished and in good places here. Here's the Traveler for the main, and that's where you expect to see it, but not all the Cal 34s had the Traveler here, right?
No,
Did the earlier Cal 34s have it further back?
Farther back, yes.
Right, so the boom on the earlier ones was longer, to my understanding.
Correct.
But the newest version of the Cal 34, the Cal 34-3, to my understanding, they shortened the boom, increased the height of the mast to get as much sail area as they could, and that put more of the load of the sail that it was taking forward and made it more balanced. And it's easier to manage. The old Cal 34s all had tillers, and I'm not sure if this was built with a helm or...
This was, yes, original.
Okay.
Original equipment.
All right. And the later Cal 34s, to my understanding, had larger tanks. Like, I think the original ones were 20-gallon gas tanks. This is a diesel. I think it's probably got 30 plus on tankage. Same for the water. It got at least 30. I think 40 to 50 gallons of water. Does this sailboat have autopilot?
This has autopilot, and it's working.
Working autopilot?
Working autopilot.
Right up here. This sailboat has a Westerbeek engine.
Westerbeek, 30 horse.
Also, I just kind of want to quickly point out, the sail is in a stack pack, which looks wonderful. I think you mentioned to me that the sails only have like 5 years of use.
They're 10-year-old sails. and they were taken off every off season and stored, but because of the change in ownerships and so on, they were bought 10 years ago, but they've only had 5 years of Midwest use.
Okay,
So that's
freshwater use.
freshwater Midwest, packed up in the winter. So they don't stay on the boat all year round. So
Right. And the lines look pretty darn good. They don't look
yeah,
like they have a lot of use on them.
no,
So the running rigging is looking pretty good. Okay, we have an extra Danforth anchor back here. The back stays. We have a swim ladder that comes off the transom. Very nice. For the plug, that's 30 amp, probably a 30 amp plug. Got the locker for the propane right here. Propane tank. That's where we start our engine, the engine gauges. We've got an extra Raymarine gauge here. Ritchie compass, helm with autopilot. You've got two scuppers located in the cockpit sole here. Actually, another two scuppers right here. Nice little helm pedestal, cockpit table. Got some clutches here for your halyard, main halyard, jib halyard, spinnaker halyard. Jib sheets come through these blocks here, these snatch blocks that are attached along this metal railing. The metal tow railing is like a CNC in that you've got these perforated mounting points all along the tow rails, which is really nice. Here are the hatches from the top side. So the lines are really super simple and very well organized. This is a great sailboat for somebody that's just learning how to sail, really getting their legs under them, because everything is really organized and simple. So we even have a windlass up here with up and down buttons. So you've got a electrical windlass to manage the anchor. That's a Harken roller furler system. So the jib is not hank on, that's a roller furler. You can see the furling line going back to the cockpit. All these lines are really well organized. Everything is super easy to manage. So there's the whisker pole. And on the mast, you have whisker pole storage. This is where you store the whisker pole. You hoist it up, you hoist up one end along the mast there. These lines are very well organized. You can see from back here, you've got two shrouds on this side, two shrouds on this side. You see a couple of halyards there that are nicely placed. You've got the diesel infill here, and you've got a waste outflow there. That's where you basically vacuum out the dark water that's generated from activities in the head. So here's a look at the Westerbeek engine. This is the 30 horsepower, correct? Is that what you said?
30 horsepower.
And it's a nice beefy engine in here, and it looks like, you know, it's pretty well laid out. You can kind of see where the fuel filter is. You can see where the oil filter is. It's a V drive, right? So you can see how the transmission kind of like forks out here and then creates a V for the propeller shaft to go back the other way. Yeah, everything looks, there's the water for the cooling system for the water. Everything looks pretty accessible.
Very easy to work on or get to.
So the galley is nice and open. Here's the setting. We have a compression post for extra stability for the deck. One side of the setting, the port side of the setting, the starboard side of the setting. This is probably good enough to accommodate somebody that's 6 foot. A nice little cabin table in here. So I'm 5'11", and I've got a few inches of headroom here. So I think the headroom in this cabin area is 6'2", And this is the SETI, and I think similarly, this is also probably 6'2 plus, maybe 6'5 of space, because at 5'11, I have plenty of room to stretch out here on this SETI. So that's great. For a cruiser, a small 34-foot boat, that's excellent space. There's the electrical panel, a small stereo, the VHF radio back here with a handset, more electrical panel back here. The battery switches right here. So here is the nav desk right here. A nice little convenient spot, which is on the edge of the quarter berth back here. This aft quarter berth is a nice convenient spot, and the battery switches are right here. And again, there's a little hatchway that is on the port side of the engine that gives you access to the engine here, a little access compartment. So very nicely oriented. So where I was sitting there behind the nav station, that is where the batteries are. So that's where the batteries are stored and available. And then you can see the depth of this quarter berth back here. So you have space for somebody to sleep. There's the companionway stairs. That gives you access to the engine, which we looked at earlier. Here's the galley. Very spacious galley with a place for a waste paper basket or the garbage. This is an ice box. Very roomy, and it's got some new insulation in there. A 3-burner stove, propane stove with an oven. This is gimbaled, of course. There we go. All right. And then we've got kind of a pantry in here. This is storage for food. Very nice. Plenty of space. A little paper towel dispenser over there. We also have a handy fridge here in the galley. Stereo speaker. You can see the chain plate right here. This looks pretty solid and pretty good condition. A little storage. Got storage behind the SETI. Okay, we're going to go up to the bow, and there's a V-berth. Like most sailboats, we've got a nice little set of drawers here, a little extra storage space, and the V-berth itself. Behind that V-berth is going to be a chain locker for the anchor chain. Have a nice little light back here, some shelves, a little extra locker, and you can see the chain plates are looking pretty good in here. Those look very well maintained. Those look solid. The chain plates look really good. This is your wet locker. That is a larger table for the cabin, I believe. Here's the head, a very spacious head. You've got a draining floor, so you can take a shower with this removable shower head here. You can pull it out and take a shower. Put it back in when you're done. You've got hatches for ventilation. Got a hatch up here for ventilation. Some nice light from these port lights. Another hatch for ventilation, and more ventilation right there for a skylight over the V-berth. So the V-berth, you can see I've got sun on my face. The skylight's nice. I've got plenty of room. In the V-berth, we also have an outlet for conveniences right there on the back of this little chest of drawers. And there is access to the anchor locker. You can see that that looks like it's in really good shape. We've got some anchor rod and a little chain there as well. What's the asking price?
You know, we're seeing saltwater boats about 18,000, and this has always been a freshwater boat. We're asking 16.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
so-
asking a little bit below what you think comps
Right.
would be
Correct.
for a sailboat, and that's just because this is nautical donations. You want to find a good price point for people that are looking to get into the market, and you want basically everybody to have a feeling when they leave of getting a deal, getting a good
we
deal.
want easy entry.
Okay. And I really have to emphasize, buying a boat from nautical donations is different than buying a boat from just somebody that wants to sell their boat, right? This is not it's still a private transaction, but once a boat is provided to nautical donations, you get the extra step of volunteers and professionals going over the boat and making sure that it's safe and that it'll float and it'll serve whoever's coming next. You're not going to redo everything,
Correct.
right? But you're going to make sure that this boat is going to provide someone with a decent sailing experience, so that they can take on ownership of the sailboat and learn further.
Right. And they can do things themselves, or if there's things that are a little bit over their skill set, there's Crowley's Yacht Yard that our boats are in, and Grant Crowley is president of Nautical Donations. So he can help with anything that needs to be done mechanically or rigging, fiberglass. All those disciplines are on this property, and we can have those taken care of. So what Grant always says is we want a boat that floats and a boat that's safe. So I think if you have a boat that floats and that's safe, we're covering all the areas of a good sail.
That's a good mantra. Boat. Good mantra, I think. I want to thank my subscribers. I really appreciate your support. If you've stayed to the end of the video, please consider pressing that like button. That would really help the channel grow. This is Sailor Eric. Thanks for watching.